Ngozi was 25 years old when she was arrested for a crime she never committed. Security cameras showed her stealing 50 million naira from the family that treated her like their own daughter. But when the most sought-after man in Lagos high society discovered the truth, what came to light was so shocking that it changed everyone's lives forever. What happened next will leave you speechless. That if you love real stories that move your heart, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Now come with me because this story will give you chills. Ngozi always had a smile that could light up any room. At 25 years old, she was the kind of person who made you believe that good people still exist in this world. With her long black hair and a figure that turned heads wherever she went, Ngozi could have chosen easier paths in life. But no, she had principles. She had character. Every morning, she woke up at 5:30 a.m. She studied for her JAM examination for 2 hours before going to work. Her dream? To become a lawyer, to defend people, to fight for justice. For 3 years, Ngozi had worked as a house help and cleaner for Mama Okonkwo, a 78-year-old woman, a millionaire, owner of one of the largest technology companies in Lagos State. But the relationship between them went far beyond employer and employee. Ngozi's mother, Mama Blessing, had worked for the family for 35 years. Ngozi practically grew up in that mansion in Victoria Island. Mama Okonkwo treated her like a granddaughter. "My daughter, you don't need to fold my bedsheets with so much care," Mama Okonkwo would always say, smiling. "Mama Okonkwo, you deserve the best." Always, Ngozi would respond. Ngozi was a perfectionist, never missed a day of work, never arrived late. Everything had to be just right. The family was impressive. Chief Okonkwo, 55 years old, was a brilliant businessman. His wife, Mrs. Okonkwo, was elegant and fair. They were the type of employers you truly respected. And there was Chidi. Chidi was their only son. At 27 years old, single, he managed the family business with admirable competence. Tall, athletic, handsome in a way that was almost frightening. But it wasn't just his looks. Chidi was kind, polite, a true gentleman. The women of Lagos high society competed for his attention. But he was selective, focused. Ngozi always had a crush on him. How could she not? But she never fed that fantasy. But Chidi always talked to her, always encouraged her. "Ngozi, you're going to get into university." "I'm sure of it," he would say. "Thank you, Chidi. I'm trying," she would respond. Shy. What Ngozi didn't know was that her life was about to turn upside down, because Ngozi kept a secret in her past. She was adopted. Mama Blessing chose to be a single mother and adopted Ngozi when she was only 2 years old. Ngozi knew she had been adopted. She also knew she had a sister, adopted by another family. But that was all she knew. "Mama, do you think my sister had a good life like I had with you?" Ngozi would sometimes ask. "My daughter, I pray that she did. May God have placed her in a blessed family." Mama Blessing would respond. But destiny was about to reveal a truth that would change everything. It was a quiet Thursday when the family traveled to London. 2 weeks of vacation. "Ngozi, if anything happens, you call me, okay?" Chidi said before getting in the car. "Don't worry, Chidi. I'll take care of everything here," she responded, smiling. "Ngozi, the house is under your responsibility," Chief Okonkwo said. "We trust you as we trust our own family." Ngozi took advantage of the time to study. She spent the entire weekend at home in Surulere, with books spread across the table. Mama Blessing made puff, brought tea, and they studied together. "Mama, this constitutional law exercise is impossible," Ngozi complained. "You can do it, my daughter. You always could," Mama Blessing said, confident. It was a perfect weekend. Peaceful, normal, but while Ngozi was there, innocently studying, something terrible was happening at the mansion. The main door opened. Someone entered, went straight upstairs to Mama Okonkwo's room. Knew exactly where the safe was. The security cameras recorded everything. 2 days later, the family returned from the trip, but when they entered the mansion, something was wrong. Chief Okonkwo ran upstairs. The safe was open. Empty. "No, no," he shouted. Immediately they called security. Rushed to see the camera recordings, and what they saw destroyed them. There was Ngozi. Clearly Ngozi. Walking through the house. Opening the safe. Taking everything. "No, it can't be." Mama Okonkwo started to cry. "Mama, I also don't want to believe it, but..." "It's here," Chief Okonkwo said. Chidi was paralyzed. He watched the recording 3 times. 4 times. It couldn't be. Papa, this doesn't make sense. They spent the night without sleeping, trying to understand. But the images were irrefutable. The next day, they called Ngozi for a meeting. Ngozi arrived smiling, happy to see the family back. Dona Helena, Mrs. Okonkwo, Chief, how was the trip? But the atmosphere was heavy, tense. Ngozi, sit here, please, Chief Okonkwo said. Ngozi, Mama Okonkwo began. We were robbed. During the trip. What? My God. Ngozi put her hands to her mouth. Did they take a lot? 50 million naira in cash. All my jewelry. Everything that was in the safe, Mama Okonkwo said. Chief Okonkwo turned on the laptop and turned the screen toward Ngozi. Ngozi, the cameras did catch something. And you need to see this. Ngozi watched. And watched again. And again, her blood froze. But how? How am I in this video? She screamed, standing up. I didn't do this. I swear I didn't do this. She started to tremble. I spent the entire weekend at home studying. My mother can confirm it. Ngozi, dear, Mrs. Okonkwo said. The images are very clear. I didn't do this. She shouted, desperate. Ngozi, you need to tell us where the money and jewelry are. Chief Okonkwo pleaded. I didn't take anything. Please, you have to believe me. Chidi was torn apart. His heart said one thing. The images showed another. Ngozi, please. Just tell us the truth, he whispered. This is the truth, Chidi. I didn't do anything. But there was nothing to be done. The evidence was too clear. With a broken heart, Chief Okonkwo picked up the phone. I'm going to have to call the police, Ngozi. I'm sorry. No. Please. I'm innocent. 20 minutes later, 2 police officers arrived. Ngozi was arrested on the spot. Mama Blessing arrived and saw the images. She collapsed. My daughter would never do this. Never. Ngozi was taken away in handcuffs. Crying. Screaming that she was innocent, Chidi stood on the balcony, watching the police car drive away. Tears rolled down his face. Something inside him screamed that this was wrong. Very wrong. Ngozi's first days in Kirikiri Prison were a nightmare. She cried without stopping. Didn't eat. Didn't sleep. Mama Blessing visited her every day. Mama, I swear to God it wasn't me. Ngozi cried. I know, my daughter. I know. Your mama believes you. Mama Blessing said. Meanwhile, at the mansion, the family was destroyed too. Chief Okonkwo could barely work. Mrs. Okonkwo tried to maintain routine, but was visibly shaken. Chidi barely left his room. Son, you need to accept it. The images don't lie. Chief Okonkwo told Chidi one day. Papa, something is wrong. I know Ngozi. She wouldn't do this. A week passed, until Chidi couldn't take it anymore. I'm going to visit her, he announced. The next day, Chidi went to Kirikiri Prison. When Ngozi entered the visiting room, she saw Chidi, elegant as always, and her, in the orange prison uniform. The shame she felt was devastating. She sat down and immediately started crying. Ngozi, Chidi said, his voice choked. Chidi, I didn't do this. She cried. I swear I didn't do it. Chidi took a deep breath. Ngozi, I still don't believe you did this, he said, firmly. She raised her eyes, surprised. You believe me. I know you, Ngozi. I've known you for years. None of this makes sense. So tell me. Explain to me what happened. Ngozi cried even more, but now with relief. Someone believed her. Chidi, I don't know how to explain. I spent that entire weekend at home, studying. How can I be in that video? Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely, Chidi. Chidi looked deep into her eyes. And he saw it. He saw the truth. Okay, he said, standing up. I believe you. And if you didn't do this, then someone did. And I'm going to find out who. Chidi, Ngozi whispered, incredulous. Hold on tight, Ngozi. I'm going to get you out of here. I promise. He left there determined. When he got home, he went straight to the office and started doing what he did best. Investigate. He opened the security recordings on the computer and started watching. Again, and again, and again, Chief Okonkwo entered. Chidi, son, this again. Papa, there's something wrong with these images. Son, it's Ngozi. Clearly her. No, Papa, there's something that's not adding up. Chidi, you're deluding yourself because you like her. Papa, give me one more day. Just one more day. Okay, one day. Chidi continued watching, frame by frame. camera by camera. And then, on the 27th time he watched it, he saw it. Papa, Mama, come here now. Chief and Mrs. Okonkwo ran to the office. Chitty paused the image, zoomed in, and pointed. Look at her arm here. Do you see this? It looks like a mark, Mrs. Okonkwo asked. It's not a mark. Look carefully. It looks like a tattoo. And there it was. For less than a second, you could see it clearly. A small tattoo on her forearm. Papa, Mama, Ngozi doesn't have any tattoo, Chitty said, his heart racing. Chief Okonkwo fell silent. Mrs. Okonkwo put her hand to her mouth. My God, she whispered. It means that whoever this person is, Mrs. Okonkwo said slowly, has a face identical to Ngozi's. Chitty felt a chill run up his spine. Papa, Mama, do you remember that Ngozi was adopted? And she mentioned she had a sister, who was also adopted. God in heaven, Mrs. Okonkwo whispered. I need to investigate this. Now, Chitty spent the entire night researching. The next day, early in the morning, the three went together to Hope Home Orphanage in Acadia. A kind, elderly woman attended them. We need information about a girl who was adopted from here 23 years ago. Ngozi Blessing. She returned with an old folder. Ngozi Blessing. Yes, she was adopted in 2002. And did she have siblings? Chitty asked, his heart racing. Yes, she had a sister, Adanna Blessing. They arrived together. Babies. Were they? Twins. The woman looked at them, surprised. How do you know? Yes, they were identical twins. 2 drops of water. The world of the three stopped. Twins. Identical, everything made sense now. Do you know who adopted Adanna? The Nwokolo family. From Ajagunal. At the time, there were some concerns. The motivation seemed to be more financial. The three left there running. I'm going to call Inspector Emeka, Chitty said. 30 minutes later, the three were in Inspector Emeka's office. You won't believe what I found, Emeka said, passing a folder. Adanna Blessing. 25 years old. First offense, 15 years old. Theft, then fraud, robbery, gang formation. An extensive criminal record. And the photo, it was Ngozi. It was exactly Ngozi, identical twins. Look at her history. Chief Okonkwo read, shocked. Since adolescence involved in crimes? Emeka, look at this. Chitty showed the photo of the tattoo. Can you see if this Adanna has any registered tattoo? Emeka checked the system. Yes. Black rose tattoo on her left forearm. Bingoed. Mrs. Okonkwo started to cry. Okonkwo, Ngozi is innocent. She was telling the truth all this time, and we didn't believe her. We're going to fix this, my love. We're going to get her out of there. Emeka, I need a habeas corpus. Now, I'll prepare everything. With this evidence, the judge will release her today. 2 hours later, Chitty, Chief, and Mrs. Okonkwo were at the prison. When Ngozi entered, she saw all three, together, with tears in their eyes. Ngozi, Chitty began, with a smile. Did you know that you and your sister are twins? Ngozi blinked, confused. What do you mean? Chitty approached. We went to the orphanage. Identical twins. You and Adanna. Adanna. Ngozi whispered the name for the first time. Chief Okonkwo put the folder on the table. Ngozi, SHE is the one who robbed the house. SHE is the one in the video, not you. Ngozi put her hands to her mouth. Mrs. Okonkwo approached. The facial recognition can't differentiate identical twins, dear. She managed to enter. Chitty showed the criminal record. Ngozi, your sister? She didn't have the same luck you had. She was adopted by the Nwokolo family. They are involved in crimes. Adanna has a record since she was 15 years old. Ngozi started to cry. But these were different tears now. I have a twin sister. And she lived such a different life from mine. Chief Okonkwo wiped his own tears. Ngozi, I need to ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness for not believing you. Ngozi, forgive me, Mrs. Okonkwo cried. You were always like a daughter to me. No, it's not your fault. The images were very clear. Ngozi sobbed. But now we know the truth, Chitty said. And you're getting out of here. Today. And that's exactly what happened. 4 hours later, Ngozi was leaving the prison. Mama Blessing was there, crying with happiness. Mama Okonkwo too, asking for forgiveness. Ngozi, forgive me. Forgive me for not believing you. Mama Okonkwo, please get up. You are like a grandmother to me. But Ngozi only had eyes for one person. Chitty. She ran to him, and threw herself into his arms. "You believed in me," she cried, when no one else believed. "You believed. I know you, Ngozi," he said, holding her face. "I always knew who you were." Now that Ngozi was free, it was time to find Adanna. 3 days later, the news came. "Chitty, we got her," Inspector Emeka called. She was trying to cross the border to Benin Republic. Adanna was arrested at customs, with a bag full of cash and jewelry. When Ngozi found out, she felt a tightness in her chest. She had a sister, a twin sister, and this sister had tried to destroy her life. "I want to see her," Ngozi said. "Ngozi, you don't need to do this." Mama Blessing began. "I need to. Mama, I need to understand." "Then I'm going with you," Chitty said. "We all are going." Chief Okonkwo completed. 2 days later, Ngozi went to the prison, but now as a visitor. When Adanna entered the visiting room, Ngozi felt like she was looking into a mirror. It was frightening. Fascinating. Same height, same body, same face, same hair, same voice. The only visible difference were the eyes. Adanna's eyes were hard, cold. The two remained silent for long seconds. "You are exactly like me," Ngozi whispered. "I know," Adanna said, her voice cold. "I studied you for months." Adanna looked at the people around Ngozi, all there, supporting her sister. She gave a bitter laugh. "Of course. You came with your entire family. How lovely." "What?" Ngozi asked, tears flowing. "Why did you do this?" Adanna leaned forward, her eyes burning with anger. "Why did I do this? Are you serious?" "Yes. I need to understand." Adanna slammed her hand on the table. "Because when I discovered I had a sister, when I saw you smiling, surrounded by people who love you, working in a mansion, studying, having opportunities, I felt a rage that you have no idea about." She pointed at Mama Blessing. "You had a mother who loved you, who gave you everything. Then at Chief and Mrs. Okonkwo, you had employers who treated you like a daughter. Finally, at Chitty, and you still had a Prince Charming running after you, defending you." Adanna was trembling with rage now. "And me? I was adopted by monsters, who beat me, who neglected me, who used me to run scams since I was a child." Tears began to roll down Adanna's face. "I grew up with nothing. No love, no affection. I slept on the street at 14 years old." Ngozi was crying too. "And then I discover I have a sister, a twin sister, and this sister had everything I never had," Adanna continued. "So yes, I felt envy. I felt rage. But it didn't have to be like this," Ngozi said. "You could have looked for me. We could have met. Different?" "How, Ngozi?" There was a heavy silence. Then Chitty spoke. "Adanna, you had a difficult life. Unfair. But you chose to destroy your sister's life. You could have chosen differently." Adanna fell silent. Chief Okonkwo approached. "Adanna, what you did was wrong. Very wrong. But I understand your pain, and I understand your anger." Mrs. Okonkwo completed. "When you leave here, after paying for what you did, if you want a second chance, we can help you. Not out of pity, but because you are the sister of someone we love." Adanna looked at them, surprised. You would help me? After what I did?" "We believe in second chances," Chief Okonkwo said. "But you need to want to change." Ngozi moved closer. "Adanna, I forgive you. Truly, I forgive. Because I understand that you were a victim. But now you need to choose who you want to be." Adanna was silent. Tears continued falling. I don't know if I can change." "You can," Ngozi said. "If I could overcome my difficulties, you can overcome yours too. But the right way. Honest." Adanna looked at her twin. "You are too strong, Ngozi. Too good. I wish I had been more like you." "It's not too late. It will take time. It will be difficult. But it's not too late." Adanna nodded slowly. "When I leave here, if you still want to help me, I will try. I swear I will try." The visit ended with hope mixed with sadness. Leaving the prison, Mama Blessing hugged Ngozi. "My daughter, you have an enormous heart. Mama, she is my sister. And she suffered so much. How can I not forgive?" Chief and Mrs. Okonkwo were impressed. "Ngozi, you are a special person," Mrs. Okonkwo said. "We're going to help your sister when she leaves," Chief Okonkwo promised. But who was most impressed was Chitty. The following months were of recovery and reconstruction. Ngozi returned to work for Mama Okonkwo, but now with even greater respect from the family. Chief and Mrs. Okonkwo not only maintained payment for her lessons, but also offered to pay for her law degree at Unilag. Ngozi, you deserve this, Chief Okonkwo said. After everything you went through, we want to see you achieving your dreams. You are part of our family, and family takes care of family, Mrs. Okonkwo added. Ngozi dedicated herself even more to her studies. 2 months later, the day of the JAM examination arrived. When the result came out, Ngozi had passed. Among the top 50 scores, the celebration at the mansion was emotional. I knew it. I always knew. Mama Okonkwo shouted. Mama Blessing cried with pride. My daughter is going to be a lawyer. Chief Okonkwo raised a glass. A toast to Ngozi, a woman of character, strength, and dignity. Everyone toasted, but Chidi was looking at Ngozi. Just looking, and Ngozi noticed. Later, Chidi called Ngozi to the balcony. The sky was starry. The night was beautiful. Ngozi, I need to tell you something. He began. She felt her heart accelerate. When you were arrested? When I saw you being taken away, my world collapsed. Ngozi remained silent, listening. And in that moment I realized something. I realized that I couldn't live without you. He came closer. I spent days without sleeping reviewing those images. Because I needed to prove you hadn't done it. I needed to get you out of there. Chidi, let me finish. He held her hands. Ngozi, I've admired you since we were teenagers. I saw you studying, caring for my grandmother with so much affection. And I thought, this woman is special. Ngozi was crying now, but I never had the courage to speak. Because I thought you would think I was being inappropriate. Chidi, but when I almost lost you, I panicked. And I realized I couldn't keep this inside anymore. He caressed her face. Ngozi, you are the most incredible woman I know. You are strong. You are honest. You are kind. You forgave your sister after she tried to destroy your life. That is greatness I've never seen in anyone. Ngozi was trembling. Chidi, I don't know what to say, he smiled. That doesn't matter, he said, firmly. I only wanted one to want me. You. And then he approached. Slowly. But she didn't pull back. When their lips met, it was as if everything in the universe finally made sense. The kiss was long, intense, full of feeling that had been kept for years. When they separated, they were breathless. I always liked you, Ngozi confessed. Always. But I thought it was crazy. Ngozi, I always looked at you that way. You just never noticed. They laughed, embraced, under the stars, from inside. Chief and Mrs. Okonkwo watched. Finally, Mrs. Okonkwo said, smiling, I always knew it would work out. Chief Okonkwo hugged his wife. 3 months later, Adanna received a visit in prison, Ngozi, with books, jam preparation books. What is this? Adanna asked, confused. You're going to spend 5 years here. So how about using this time to study? When you leave, you can go to university too, Ngozi said, smiling. Ngozi, I'm not intelligent like you. Don't say that. We have the same brain, literally. If I can do it, you can do it. Adanna took the books, emotional. You didn't give up on me. I will never give up. You are my sister. And for the first time, Adanna smiled. A genuine smile. Just like Ngozi's. Thank you, sister. You're welcome, sister. Today, 3 years later, a lot has changed. Ngozi is in her 3rd year of law at the University of Lagos. She is one of the best students in the class, and there's more news. Ngozi and Chidi are engaged. The proposal was beautiful. On a trip to Lekki Beach, at sunset, with the whole family hiding and waiting to celebrate. Ngozi Blessing, will you marry me? Chidi asked, on his knees in the sand. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Chief Okonkwo cried. Mrs. Okonkwo cried. Mama Okonkwo cried. Mama Blessing cried. It was a perfect moment. The wedding is scheduled for 6 months from now. At the mansion, in the garden where Ngozi played as a child. And there's more. Adanna will leave prison next year. She studied. Passed JAM. Was approved to study education at a public university. She wants to be a teacher. I want to help children like I was, she wrote. In a letter to Ngozi. I want them to have better chances. Chief and Mrs. Okonkwo have already arranged a job for her when she leaves. Nothing grand, but honest. A new beginning. Ngozi's story shows us that truth always comes to light, that a person's character shines even in the most difficult situations, and that forgiveness has incredible transforming power. Sometimes, life puts us in impossible situations. Sometimes we are judged unfairly. Sometimes everything seems lost. But when you have character, when you have dignity, when you have people who truly love you. The truth always finds a way, and Ngozi also teaches us about the power of second chances. Adanna made a terrible mistake, but she was also a victim of an unfair life. And Ngozi chose to see beyond the anger, chose to see the pain, and chose to help. That is greatness. That is humanity at its best. And you? Have you ever been through a situation where you were judged unfairly? Or have you had to choose between anger and forgiveness? Tell me in the comments. Could you forgive someone who tried to destroy your life? If this story moved you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear about forgiveness and second chances, and subscribe to Amazing Folktales so you don't miss the next stories. Turn on the notification bell because every week there's a new story here at Amazing Folktales. And tell me, do you think Adanna deserves a second chance? Would you do the same that Ngozi did? A big hug and see you in the next story.